Blake spontaneous. He makes his debut on Sunday. You've ridden him in all 4 of his trials. What sort of feel has he given you?
Yeah, he's given me a nice feel, Ed. He's done everything right. From the moment I got on him, he's all business. He's a pretty professional racehorse, and it's what you like to see in them, especially when they're inexperienced. He just applies himself very professionally in every manner, and that first trial from day one when I rode him, he's just wanted to be there, wanted to run, and he indicates to me that he's got a fair share ability to go with it, which is a good sign.
Looking at a few of his trials, one of them which he won down the straight over 800 metres, form looks good. He jumped out well. Last time at Happy Valley, was he not as professional as what he was in his previous trials?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. That's maybe the only little glitch that he has got. He can, he can get in the barriers and trying to curb his enthusiasm. He wants to jump a little bit too quick and get on with the job. So, look, I'm mindful of that, but the thing is, he's had a good experience, taking a positive from that. He had a good experience behind horses at his last 2 trials. So he's, well equipped to, racing. Hopefully at his first start, he could go forward, he could go back, he could settle behind them, and so I like to think he's well educated and set up nicely to run a good race.
Big day coming up for you on Sunday. 9 rides, including 2 rides in the Group 1s. Are you excited about the weekend?
I am excited, yes. It's a couple of Group 1s. It's building up nicely for myself. Riding DB Pin and Southern Legend, they're both old warriors, and to get the opportunity to ride them, I'm extremely excited, and you just never know what can happen. Hopefully they can pull out one of their best performances, and hopefully we can walk away with one of the Group 1s on the weekend.
Zach Daly Beauty, you rode him on debut. What were your thoughts on that run?
I thought he ran well. He got lost mid-race. He was scared of the other horses and, lost his rhythm and sort of lost his way a little bit. But once he balanced up in the straight, I thought he finished it off nicely.
So he would have learnt a lot from that experience then?
Oh, we hope so. He was on the outside that time. He's going to be on the inside in amongst them this time. So he's going to need to handle himself a little bit better or be a little bit more comfortable. But, he comes up with a nice gate this time, and hopefully he's better for the experience.
Did the gate force your hand to go back last time out, or do you think that's his natural racing pattern?
I think the way he raced, you probably don't want to rush him to be too handy or too close. But he definitely, from a good gate, could settle handier than what he did.
And the step up to 1,400 metres, is that a further benefit for him?
Yeah, it probably just allows him to travel and get more comfortable. The 1,200 metres, like I said, had him off the bit, and he wasn't handling the pace of the race too well. So step up in distance should suit him.
Zach, Beauty Generation, we know how good he is. He's won 7 Group 1s, he won 10 in a row. Has he still got it?
I hope so. We don't go to the races confident anymore. We go to the races hoping that he can reproduce his best. He's not far off them, and he hasn't been trying his best. He hasn't been having a crack. He's just been pulling himself up and not been too interested. So he's just got to want to do it again, find that hunger, and if he can, we know he's capable.
You've made a gear change, you and John. Cheek pieces go on, blinkers go off for the first time ever here in Hong Kong. Was that something you suggested?
No, that's something that John came up with on his own. So, these older horses, sometimes a little bit of a gear change can spark them up a little bit, and let's hope that does it.
Did he feel like he was better in that barrier trial that you rode him in recently?
He never trials well on the dirt. He's always been a little bit lazy on there. He just doesn't seem to pick up as well. So his finishing position is not something that worries me. It's more so his attitude and how we went through the trial, and I thought he went through it quite nicely. And the bit I liked the most was towards the line. He grabbed the bit and wanted to work to the line. He hasn't done that for a while. Hopefully he takes that to the races.
Gate 1, is there a concern that you could be boxed in?
Yeah, it's not an ideal gate for him, especially with a number 1 pest in the race, but we'll just have to work that out.
You take on My Cuckoo, who's beaten you at the last 3 starts, or finished ahead of you. Is he the main danger? Is it a 2-horse race when you look at it?
It appears to be. Waikuku does have the race at his mercy. The way he's been going, he's going to be hard to beat.
Joe beat the clock, the Hong Kong Sprint winner, 3-time Group 1 winner. You've ridden him in 2 of his trials since the Hong Kong Sprint. How have they been?
The trial has been pretty good. I'm extremely happy the way how he's done it. And I think we're going into Sunday's race fully fit.
You take on most of the horses from the Hong Kong Sprint. Who's the one you're most worried about in the field?
Full of beauty. I think he was a bit unlucky last time. Looks like something happened in the gate and he didn't really jump as fast as he could. And he's done that before as well. And he finished very close. So I think if he's able to do things a little bit more proper, he might be the one to beat.
This is a horse he's ridden 21 times from his 23 starts. He's never finished out of the top 3. What makes him the horse that he is? Why is he so good? Beat the clock, Joe.
He just doesn't like to run a bad race, and he's such a sound and nice individual, you know. In some of the races that he even ran places, he could have won. For some reasons, like being a little bit unlucky on gates and splits, he was just not able to get there. And he's a winner. He probably knows that, and he likes to keep on doing his best every time he step out.
Beauty applause, Joe. He's won 2 from 3 this season. His defeat came last time out, but that was a pretty brave effort, wasn't it?
Yes, I just think that he was beaten by the gate last time. Looks like the handicapper is doing a very good job getting the horses very even in those type of races. Obviously, I gotta add that he was beaten by a very good and strong horse also. But no doubt that I was extremely happy with his performance. He does his best always.
You mentioned that very good horse that beat him, Computer Patch. You meet him again on Sunday. Better at the gates, 3 pounds better at the weights. Is that enough to turn the tables?
Well, if you look at the handicap point of view, you would think so. But no doubt that I gotta show some respect to him because he was able to beat me last time with circumstances on his favor. But at the same time, we have to be confident, and that can be a key word to get you to win races. Confidence is such an important thing in this game.
He's had a trial since that race, only narrowly beaten by Mr. Stunning. Did he feel good to you?
He felt great. I think his trials was extremely good, and he's another one that we think he's going to the race extremely fit, and I couldn't be any happier with him.
Just looking from last season to this season, he's now up into Class 2. How much better is he this time around?
No doubt he's a much better horse. When he had his first few starts last season, he was a little bit green. I had to kind of force him to do things, but now he's more forward, and I think that's a good sign. And I really think we are yet to see the best of him. He's on improving, on the making.